Xerneas and Yveltal are getting brand new moves in Pokémon Go. But not just any ordinary moves, they're going to be getting their signature moves, being Geomancy and Oblivion Wing. Sounds pretty exciting, right? But just how good are these new moves going to be? Well, let's take a closer look at these brand new signature moves and find out. Welcome back, everyone. So I think it's super exciting that we're getting more legendary signature moves this summer. What's even crazier is that we're getting Xerneas and Yveltal's exclusive moves, as well as the official release of Zygarde all within the same season. Gotta say, it's a pretty exciting time for Kalos fans. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you probably remember us talking about the Mortality Trio and our initial analysis for them. In that video, we highlighted how Xerneas was doomed to fail without a good fast move, and while Yveltal would fare well in PvP, it would end up being outclassed as a raid attacker. But with that said, we also noted that their signature moves would be the perfect opportunity to fix them. And now that they're finally here, let's see how impressive they really are, starting with Geomancy on Xerneas. Now, since its release over 2 years ago, Xerneas has been considered a pretty useless Pokemon. Stuck with Tackle and Zen Headbutt for fast moves, the Life Pokemon didn't have enough power to make a Giga impact in Pokemon Go. However, with Tackle's PvP buff last year, Xerneas became a decent Master League threat, now being able to charge its moves a little bit quicker. But starting on August 16th, Xerneas is going to be increasing its arsenal with the addition of Geomancy. And right off the bat, it's pretty great to see that it's getting a very fast move, but just how helpful is it going to be? Well, when it comes to Geomancy stats, the move is actually going to be below average. It produces the same amount of energy as the dark fast move Snarl, but does 4 damage instead of 5. This made it the same as how Rollout was for several months, until it was recently buffed to be a clone of Snarl. Now, even though this move's damage output is underwhelming, it's actually going to be a huge upgrade for Xerneas. Since Geomancy is a very fast move, it's going to be really useful against Yveltal, Zamazenta, and many of the Dragon staples that rule over the Master League. But additionally, this move is also going to charge Xerneas' charged moves faster than Tackle would. And as a result, this puts Xerneas around the same level as Zacian, who we all know is really good in the Master format. So simply put, Xerneas with Geomancy is going to be one of the big names for the Master League alongside Groudon, Dialga, and Zacian. Now switching things over to the raid attacker front, Xerneas was never really that good as a raid attacker. However, now that it has Geomancy, it can now run a mono fairy type attacking moveset to boost its performance. And despite Moonblast being a subpar charge move for raid battles, Geomancy is pretty decent and allows Xerneas to become the best non-shadow, non-mega fairy type attacker in the game. Now obviously, Fairy often isn't the best attacking type for raids, and Xerneas getting Geomancy doesn't really change that. It will be the go-to choice for when Guzzlord returns, but otherwise, I'd only consider it if you're going up against a Dragon boss in cloudy weather. Still though, I see this as a very welcomed upgrade to Xerneas that boosts its performance across the board. So that's how Geomancy is going to help the Life Pokemon, but now let's move things over to the Destruction Pokemon and Oblivion Wing. Now, contrary to its evil-sounding name, Oblivion Wing is actually a Flying-type charged move instead of Dark. Now, will Oblivion Wing make an impact on Yveltal? Well, let's find out. So for PvP, it's got decent stats with 50 energy and 85 power. This matches the same stats for Crabhammer, just without any additional effects added on. So at face value, I'd say this is going to be a good move, though nothing really too mind-blowing. It'll primarily help Yveltal when standing against fairy types, though outside of that, there aren't a lot of situations where it's the go-to move. The coverage that Dark Pulse and Focus Blast provide is far more useful in the Master League, so while you can use Oblivion Wing for this, I personally say you shouldn't for the time being. Now for raids on the other hand, this is going to be a totally different story. Oblivion Wing is nearly identical to Sky Attack, but with 5 more power. And previously Yveltal had to make do with the slower Hurricane, but this new move will make its flying damage output a lot quicker. So where's this place Yveltal? Well, it's going to be one of the best flying type attackers, ahead of all shadows except for Moltres, and also under Dragon Ascent Rayquaza and its Mega. So if you catch a good Yveltal when it's back next week, it'll serve you well. Although Rayquaza with its new move is going to be a step up from Yveltal, so I'm not really sure it's worth the investment unless you really like Yveltal. So to summarize, these two legendaries both see improvements in their performance because of their signature moves, but between the two, I think Xerneas got more benefits than Yveltal. Don't get it twisted though, Yveltal with Oblivion Wing is still a great flying type attacker, but but since it's less preferred in PvP, I don't see it as too exciting of an upgrade. Now Xerneas on the other hand became a massive threat in the Master League, and I could see people running double fairy teams alongside Zacian. But anyways, those are just going to be my thoughts on the upgrades for Xerneas and Yveltal, and now I want to know what you guys think about these signature moves. Did they live up to your expectations, or did they disappoint you a bit in their transition to Go? But either way, be sure to let us know what you think down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for more Pokemon content. Until next time though, I wish you all the best of shiny luck raiding these two legendaries, and we'll see you all next time.